Hey guys, it's Miss Sue from the CORE organization, back with lesson 4 of our Art from Home series. And today we are going to draw a tropical fish together because they're bright, they're fun, they're colorful. Who knows, if you see a group of wolves running together out in the wild, what is that called? Anybody know? Raise your hand. Yep, a pack. A group of wolves traveling together is called a pack. If you see a bunch of bees flying around together, what's that called? Anybody know that one? Right, a swarm of bees. So when a bunch of fish are traveling together, swimming down the river together, what are they called? Who knows that one? Right, a school of fish. So we're going to call this project Home School of Fish because you're home and we're going to draw a school of fish. So if you're ready to draw, give me those 2 thumbs up. So to begin, all we need is 1 sheet of paper and markers or crayons if you're using those. Either one is fine. The first thing we're going to do is draw a big oval, pretty big, almost taking up a lot of the paper. An oval is kind of a stretched out circle. So a big oval taking up almost all of your paper. We're going to leave some room back there and here, but almost in the center, a big oval. Next thing we're going to do is make a good sized circle for his eye. And another circle, smaller circle inside that circle. So we have a big fish body and an eye. Next we're going to do a backwards C, backwards letter C. Small little curve line. Small little curve line from the bottom, and then another backwards C, and we have his lips, fish lips. Next, from right above his eye, we'll make a curved line to right about there, about 2 inches long for the top of his fin, and we'll curve back down till it touches the body. And who remembers that copycat line that Miss Sue likes to teach you? A copycat line is a line that follows right alongside another line. 1 copycat line there, 1 copycat line there. So now we have fish body, fin, lips, and eyes already. Next, he needs some more fins on the bottom because fins help fish swim. So we'll make a curved line on the bottom, facing backwards. Another curved line, that curved line that goes right up to the body. 1 fin. Copycat line, just like we did on the top. Copycat line. And another copycat line. And we'll put another smaller fin, same thing we did here, except this one's going to be a little bit smaller. Curved line down, a little bit shorter than that one. And up to the body. Copycat line. Another copycat line. So we have big fin, 2 smaller fins on the bottom. Now a fish needs a tail so he can change direction. We'll start right about in the middle and we'll do a curved line up. Now we're going to make that same line going the opposite direction. So we're going to start here. So it's pretty much the same line we did at the top, we do at the bottom, it's just the opposite direction. Now we're going to connect these 2 lines for the base of the tail. Connect those with a little bit of a curve. Now we're going to do a whole copycat line right inside this shape. So we're going to repeat this whole shape with a copycat line. So small line there, and we're going to follow with a copycat. Follow all the lines we made with the copycat line. And all the way down till we reach the other one. Now, tropical fish usually have really bright tails, so we're gonna make a couple of designs in here so we can get some bright color in. So let's repeat this shape. Curve line to the top. Another copycat line almost, and it's gonna flare out a little bit. Curve line to the bottom. And a copycat line that flares up a little bit. So we have our body, our fins, our tail, our lips, our eye. Now a fish needs scales. The scales are slimy little curved shapes that help the fish go through the water faster. So let's make a first row of scales starting right about where the fin is, and we're just going to make a series of little backward C's. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to copycat this line that we made so we can have a fancy colorful stripe, because tropical fish are very bright and colorful. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll have a really bright stripe. Now we're going to fill from here to the end with scales. And scales are all backward C shapes. So we're going to put a bunch of backwards C's. And we're going to connect them. Backward C's that connect. We're just going to connect them all the way to each other. It doesn't matter exactly where you put them as long as they connect to a line. Backwards C's, backwards C's. So all the rest of his body is filled with scales. So we have our whole tropical fish just with a few lines together. Just by making circles, ovals, curve shapes, we have a whole fish. All these lines come together and made a beautiful tropical fish. Now I'm going to pretend that he's swimming in the bottom of the ocean, and in the ocean you see beautiful plants. Does anyone know what they're called? What those beautiful, colorful plants on the bottom of the ocean are called? Right, who said coral? If you said coral, raise your hand. So coral grows from the bottom of the ocean. So we're going to start at the very bottom of our page and make a kind of like a spaghetti curve line up. Everyone have their spaghetti curve line, and we'll copycat that spaghetti curve line and connect it at the top. Now that coral has branches that branch off just like a tree. So we're going to make a few little tree branches, straight line, curve line, curve line, curve line, straight line. So they look like a fat letter T. So we're going to make the arms, the branches of the coral, with 3 or 4 fat little T's. So we'll put one coral here. We'll put another coral plant this way. We'll make a spaghetti line up, make it a little bit longer. Copycat line. And connect it. Now those same T's we made, let's make a long branch. Since this one is a little bit longer, let's make a long branch. Now we'll put a couple of those T's. Maybe one more over here. And how about one more small coral with a spaghetti line, goes to the bottom of your paper. Copycat line. Connect it. Make some of those T's. Maybe one more longer T. So now we have fish swimming across with some coral on the bottom. Now, if a fish is breathing in the water, which he has to be able to be breathing if he's swimming, let's make some circle family, some bubbles. And we'll make them go bigger as they get to the top of the water. A few bubbles to show that he's breathing and swimming along. Now the fun part, we're going to color him in. And one color that you see on tropical fish very often is orange, nice and bright. So I am going to use orange. I'm going to make his lips, that backward C. I'll make that orange. I'm going to choose my colors as a guide, but you're always welcome to use what colors you like. But I'm going to use orange for his lips. And I'm going to use orange for this big stripe that goes all the way down, so it will connect back to the lips, giving us a nice visual. And I'm going to show you kind of a fun way to color in if you're using markers. If you outline that shape that you're going to fill in, it makes it pretty neat and pretty easy not to go out of the lines. So if you make a border, that color that you're going to use, and then you just color in the middle, it's a nice guide not to go out of the lines, makes it nice and neat. So that's our lips and our big design on the fish. I'm going to choose a bright blue eye. Get our dark blue. Because I know you guys know Miss Sue loves blue and orange. And what are blue and orange again? Right, complementary colors. I'm going to pick a lighter blue to represent the bubbles. So I'm going to outline them and fill them in. And this big bubble. There, it's coming to life. Now, I like this light blue color, so I think I'm going to make this whole part of his face light blue. I'm going to outline this part, keeping the marker on the inside. And I'm even going to outline the eye. And then we can fill in his whole head with the light blue or whatever color you're using. I wonder how many of you have a fish tank at home or have seen a fish tank when you go out to a restaurant or an office somewhere. Even sometimes the bank, if you go into the bank with your mom and dad, I've seen some fish tanks there. Next time you go, see if you can find a blue and orange fish swimming around. So some light blue. I'm going to stick with blue and orange for my whole fish, but you can use other colors if you choose. I'm going to take the darker blue that we use for the eye, And I'm going to fill in the outer part of his top fin. And I'm going to have all the fins match. So if I did the outline of that top one, I'm going to do the outline of the two on the bottom with dark blue too. So all our fins will match, and he'll look really great swimming around. I'm going to get the orange again and fill in the center of the fins so we can connect back to the lips and the big design. Orange. This area is bigger. I'm going to use that outline technique to fill in. And our top fin. And right about here would be the gills of your fish. And the gills, who knows what the gill of the fish does? Anyone? Gills help your fish breathe, just like lungs. If you're a person, your lungs help you breathe. If you're a fish, you have gills right here, and they help you breathe. Now we're going to fill in all these scales, a few different colors. I'm going to choose 3 different blues, because I think they'll look nice together. They're similar. When colors are similar like this, it's kind of called a family. Just like you might have some brothers and sisters or your mom and dad and you kind of all look alike. Well, that's a family, and this is a family of colors. So I'm going to choose some colors, a family of colors that kind of look alike, so we can keep a beautiful theme going here. So I'm just going to alternate these scales with my family of blues. So with this medium shade of blue, I'll start with that one. And then I'm going to go to, next to it, I'm going to put the lighter shade of blue. And then I'm going to use the darker blue, the third one. And I'll go back to the bright blue. So we're kind of creating a pattern of scales. Bright blue, light blue, they're really close, and dark blue. We will get bright blue in here. We're going to fill all the scales in right now. Bright blue, light blue, and dark blue. And we'll go with our bright blue. It ended up right next to the other one. That's okay. Light blue. And I'll start to go this way, dark blue. So we spread the colors out a little bit. We'll get a bright blue in here. a light blue, or maybe you're using purples and pinks or reds. And we're almost done with our scales. Dark blue, light blue, and a bright blue, which is the most tropical of the blues. A few more scales to fill in. Oops. I'll put a big dark blue one here. Our medium blue. And we have two, I have two left, let's see. Light blue. And we'll use tropical blue. So by using a family of colors that are close in color, the light ones make it look like where the light is hitting it, and the darker ones could be in shadow, although they're all very similar. So we have all our scales and fins and body. Now it's time to do the tail. And I'm going to make the tail look similar to both fins. And how did we start that? Anyone remember? We did the outline. We filled with the dark blue that we have. So we'll color the whole outline. Dark blue. And we'll do the two small areas that we put in. We will also make those the same color that you're using. I have dark blue. Fill those in the same color you have. Now I'm going to use that bright orange because it's the complement to blue, which makes it look super bright, and it will tie into the fins, the design, and the lips. So I'm going to fill these areas, and since they're big areas, I'll try that outlining technique. Make a line first and then just fill in the center. Makes for pretty neat coloring. Nice bright orange. Wow, look at that fish. Nice. Now the coral on the bottom is usually bright colors and really bright, pretty pastels. They're not like plants that you see in the forest. They're usually very bright. So I'm going to use a light pink for some of my coral. This one over here. So all those T's that we made, we'll color in pink. All the branches and the center, the whole stem of the coral plant. Make that all pink. In the middle one, I'll use teal, which I know is a lot of you guys' favorite color. And that's a nice bright color for coral. You see a lot of teal colored. We'll do all the T's first. And then the branches. 2 coral plants. Now our last coral plant, I'm going to make mine pink so it'll have a nice balance, because pink on this side and pink on that side. And by making this pink, it balances off your eye view. So I'll start with the T's. So we have we all have the same tropical fish with some coral. Now what you do with the rest of your picture is totally up to you. You know, I always like to have you make the design your own, make the drawing your own. So you could have this, you could put some more plants back there in the background, you could color the ocean in, you could draw other animals or crabs or other fish around him. Make some sand on the bottom. Whatever you do with the rest is entirely up to you, so the drawing becomes really your own. And don't forget, the last thing you'll do is to sign your name somewhere. So we'd love to see your finished drawings and see what you did with them. You can either text them to me, post them on Facebook, post them on the Core Organization website page. We'd love to see what you do with your tropical fish and put them in our gallery. We'll have our whole homeschool fish gallery. So until next time, I'll give you that virtual fist bump out.